Over the last few weeks in Rotherham, like communities across the north of England, we've seen increasing numbers of people falling ill with coronavirus. Last week alone, more than 500 people in our borough tested positive for it, and that was more than twice as many people as the week before. So we know that in Rotherham, as in communities like ours across the country, the impact of the virus is once again being felt. There are more people in hospital now, and sadly, we have begun to experience people dying again from this disease. That comes after a period over the summer where fortunately we had no COVID patients in the hospital and a number of weeks where there were no COVID fatalities. So we've got to take this really seriously. And I know it's been a long year, and I know everyone has been working really hard to help to keep Rotherham open. I know a lot has been asked of us, and we've all made big sacrifices this year. And that's why we're so determined that it can't be going to waste, that effort must count for something, and that we've got to keep each other safe over the months to come. Because the virus is being contracted in these social situations and not in one particular workplace or one part of the borough, it's quite difficult to devise rules that really will keep people safe while also helping people to maintain their way of life. And that's why it's possible, maybe even likely, that if these restrictions don't work, we will face further restrictions over the coming weeks. In light of these new restrictions, alongside other council leaders from across South Yorkshire and our Mayor of South Yorkshire, we're lobbying the government hard for the economic support that we need. It can't be right that if a business has to close because of these new restrictions, that closure is permanent. Those businesses need financial support, and people who work for those businesses need financial support to get us through this period to the point where those businesses can open again. Otherwise, we'll all be paying for that in the long term. So we're asking the government for additional resources for our local public services to support improved test and trace so we get more access to tests so no one's waiting, but also support for businesses and employers who are affected so that we can all come out of this stronger on the other side. Our council services and our other local public services are still working hard for you through this period, even though our staff are affected by the disease in the same way that everybody else is. So if you need support over the coming weeks, please do get in touch. Our Rotherham Heroes volunteer scheme is still operating. They're still taking those food parcels out to people who are unable to leave their homes. There is still financial support available. So please come forward if you need that help. And crucially, our health services are still operating as well. People can still get access to their GPs, whether they are suffering from coronavirus or from any other health condition. Treatments at the hospital are continuing. And it's really important that everyone continues to use those services in the way that we normally would. This has been a really difficult year for all of us. We don't want people's sacrifices to have been made in vain. It's really important that we double down over the coming weeks because we are going to come out of the other side of this eventually. And if we take the right steps to look after each other now and we get the right support from the government, then we will have a strong economy and of course a strong community on the other side of this virus.